What is that? Is that beef jerky? Whoa! What did he just do? There's nothing left. There's no explanation left. When did he pull out the beef jerky and why? Ole! Please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? It's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can. Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. Yeah, what about that? Why am I not... If that's so, then where was the witness? See, Mr. Wright has an answer. Wait a second. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? That is an interesting point, because it seems like you would have been able to see him on the video at some point. I mean, the camera is turned away when most of it is actually happening. But you never see him, like, actually enter or exit the room. You do see the thing on his locker. So it stands to reason he was probably there, but... Okay, so this is where Meekins was, right? Or when he came in. And this is where... the locker was that... what's-his-face Goodman opened before Meekins came in to attack him. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? I don't know, was he hiding like back in here? Or I don't think there will be enough room for a person to squeeze in there. I think it's pretty much implied by the size of the room. I mean, he could have been anywhere, like on the floor, down here somewhere, underneath the camera. I don't want to just randomly pick some area down here, though. Was he, like, behind them, maybe? Like, maybe up here? Oh, jeez. What's K supposed to stand for, anyway? Is that supposed to be Meekins, or... Or are these just, like, random letters? Maybe K stands for knife? I don't know why I'm sitting here talking about this. We need to pick some... I don't know what to pick. Man. I think I'm going to try like down here in the corner. You know, I'm just going to see what happens. But I got a really weird feeling that's not it. Officer Marshall was standing... Office Marshall was standing right here. So Officer Meekins didn't notice him standing there. That's almost as credible as Meekins' warp theory. Your chamber's empty, partner. Better reload. Oh, crap. Perhaps you should think a little more about where Officer Marshall was. Officer Meekins should have seen him in the evidence room. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless they're, like, in on it together. Or... Let's hear it. The only way that Meekins could have possibly not seen him I don't know, maybe he was over here? The thing is, then the camera would have picked him up. How could both Meekins and the camera not see him? Unless he was up here somewhere. I mean, it has to be up in here somewhere. Once again, though, it's like, I don't want to pick... Like, if I was going to pick a spot, it seems to make more sense to pick, like, one of these two spots. These are, like, the two spots that they're pointing out, specifically as being important for some reason. So it seems like it should be one of these two spots. But if it is, then it's definitely not this one, because the camera and both, like, Meekins and the camera, there'd be no reason why they couldn't see him. But here, maybe. Otherwise, I'm stuck just pointing some random spot in the room, which I honestly just don't think is the case. So let me try it just to see what happens. Oh, he spelled officer right this time. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Oh, it wasn't Goodman that was standing there, was it? I forgot all about that. Because we established it wasn't Goodman that was there. It was somebody else with his card. Oh, I'm so dumb. Oh, my God. Here we go. Oh, this is just like that Steel Samurai thing, too. The guy didn't look at people's faces. Sorry. Let's fart out. Farted. Nope. That's right. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Ah, yeah, okay, I see. Yep. You've got quite an imagination, partner. You got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. More like circumcised. He's still denying it! You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. Well, can we check his apartment? He's probably got a bunch of cosplay outfits in there. A bunch of kiragumis. Dude, again with the beard. Aww. I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? Harumph! But he's got a straight mouth too, boy, I tell you. It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. Shut up, man! Return to the basics. No, sorry, dude, I'm not going back to smoking. That would be what Mia used to tell me. Try thinking outside of the box. Shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime, unless he was trying to hide something. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe the white thing sticking out of the locker is the trench coat that he was wearing. And he had to get rid of it, you know, so nobody would see it. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. Well, maybe he did. Did he? According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker door for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. Yes. So just what exactly is this piece of cloth? It's his trench coat! Perhaps this video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Are we really gonna have to point out the trench coat? Well... because he didn't want anyone to see him in it. I would think that would be it, wouldn't it? That still just cracks me up. Both of these guys acting like a couple of jackasses. Oh, wait a second. Holy shit. I can't believe this, but I know why he did it. I know why he did it. I didn't catch this either, but I was watching it just now. Right there. See that? That's blood splatter. That's why he had to get rid of the coat. It wasn't necessarily that he wanted to hide the Bruce Goodman getup as much as it is he needed to hide those blood splatters. That's gotta be it. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room. I don't know what that reason was yet. Yet? Yeah, we're gonna find out. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled the knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. Ah! A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Bango! Not bad, huh, partner? Are you finally acknowledging me here? Did I finally get you? Now then, Officer Marshall. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. Now, don't go making more cow pies to step in, Phoenix. You got enough manure on your boots now. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. Alright, where do I start? Start at the beginning. Yes, and when you come to the end, stop! Marshall's confession. We could have something big here. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. By let it die, I assume that it is the SL9 case. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. So I guess normally he wouldn't have been allowed to do that. Only the detectives were allowed to do that. So that's why he had to dress up as a detective. Okay. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Large quantities of blood traces were found on the floor of the evidence room. Yeah, Meekins' blood, right? If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It looked like too much blood for that. Did it? I mean, how can you really know? I mean, it's hard to say because you don't know, like, how... Well, I mean, how can you really tell? Do I have to do something with this? Oh, God. I thought we were, like, wrapping this up here. Okay, He was obviously trying to get SL9 evidence out so that it wouldn't get transferred. Because he wanted to continue investigating it. You don't have to ask, partner. Yes, Yes, okay. He wanted to save the evidence before it got thrown away. Well, he was involved with it. That's why you stole the detective's ID and dressed like him, trying to take out the evidence. Alright. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? Because ordinarily he wouldn't be allowed to go in there. If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer rule, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. Well, that makes sense. You did? He said, yeah, you sure did. But was this before or after you sliced and diced? Is that how we return cards to people these days? We just leave them on the floor in some parking lot somewhere? What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Normally, that locker shouldn't have opened. It's right, yeah. Oh, shit. I mean, somehow the locker was opened in the first place. Anyway, Officer Meekins, I knocked him out. Yes, that you did. And I don't see anyone complaining about that. Yeah, he is. Oh my god. Yeah, really, man. What the hell? Edgeworth. What do you need all that money for? Yeah, well, what can you do? What happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? The one that I'm shaving with? You get your shavings all over the courtroom floor. You're gonna have to clean that up, you know. Alright. You did know which areas would be kind of... Well, that makes sense, because you're sitting there watching it all day. So you don't have to do much research to know. Yeah, that's true. However, you blood your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. Who knows? He was just wandering around. Okay, well, I want to press this just to be... I don't know. And I'm not dead yet. It's actually a famous quote of mine. I can't explain that right now, it's too long of a story. You stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. So the real Bruce Goodman probably just beat him to it. Because weren't they on a team on that case? They would have both had the same reason to go in there and do that. Maybe they should have talked it out before. Or Goodman should have said something like, I'm going to get that evidence so you don't have to, or whatever. Or maybe the reason he got the evidence is because somehow he knew Bruce Goodman wouldn't be able to get it. Someone else stole the evidence. Oh no! Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? This is no small offense, man. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences, you know. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Although that would be a good start. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. This ain't your case, this one's mine. I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. Boy, he's really gung-ho about this case. Yes. Well, I mean, maybe. I just can't forget the LCL9 incident. You know why? Is this the same... Okay, it is. It's the same dialogue, so... Let's see what we got here. This is like the thing we need to know about this whole thing. There's a reason the evidence was stored in the... Oh, for a second I thought that said it's the reason the evidence room was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for those crimes. Convicted. One thing I can say for sure, he deserved his sentence. How dare you speak ill of the dead? I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. I am so interested. Tell us. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think is his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the files. Okay, let's get back to that. I think I know what I need to do here, but I'm going to have to make sure I get the page right. Because it's probably going to ask me what page, like it did before when I presented DL6. Okay, you can't forget the incident because you were involved in it. Oh my gosh, and and he was the one too. who had the same last name as one of the victims. Let me check this out again. Yeah, see, Neil Marshall. It says victims, page 2. But he was also one of the investigators, and that's page 4. Okay, let's do this. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Oh, I was gonna point that out, dude. Neil Marshall, are you related to this man? I am his father. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. Whoa, oh, no. Show me the picture again. That was a great picture. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. And he hated it so much that he threw it against the wall, and that's how the shield broke. Okay, so before Edgeworth, there was Neil Marshall was the king of prosecutors then. Now I remember Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. Oh. Oh my gosh.